achievements, and awards to recognize her talent and hard work in diverse areas. She will be attending Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant, Michigan this fall. It is my pleasure to present to you our senior class speaker and valedictorian for the class of 2019, Ms. Sara Sayuda.
Dear class of 2019, teachers, board members, family, and friends. I spent months trying to write this speech. I asked for advice from classmates and teachers. I watched and read the graduation speeches of other classes. I searched up quotes from other speeches, and I wrote countless rough drafts. And even so, nothing really seemed to work, and that makes sense. After all, in the past 4 years, and for some of us 7 years, we've shared so much. Our stress, our excitement, our cynicism, and our love for Kahoot and the cafeteria Bosco sticks. It really wouldn't be possible to take the life lessons and memories over such a long period of time and compress it into one 5-minute speech. There's just no way that could happen. So, I debated making my speech about a personal moral or a mantra of mine, detailing it, maybe using an extended metaphor to put a twist on an experience common enough that anyone could experience it. But I didn't feel qualified to be standing up here giving you all life advice. The reason I am standing up here, my GPA, is a reflection of my tunnel vision, and the fact that I spent a lot more time focusing on my classwork and grades than anything else that was just as important. But thanks to you guys, I'm leaving school with more than just book knowledge. I have learned so much from the teachers and students here that will stay with me throughout my life. Number 1, from my teachers. I learned to rise to a challenge, to be bold and take my shot. Upbeat songs and well-known mantras stating this lesson are everywhere. But it wouldn't have sunk in so much if it weren't for my teachers. I'd love to mention each and every one of you and what you did to set this in my brain, but I only have about 5 minutes. To my science teachers, Mr. Barnes, Mr. Miller, and Dr. Allen. Especially during science fair, you guys encouraged me to speculate, to try different experiments, and to find out on my own what works. My math teachers, Mr. Abe and Mr. Kowalski. Math is a very important subject to me personally. It taught me that no matter how hard or unwieldy a problem may seem to be, it can be broken down and solved with logic. And of course, the teachers who didn't have me in a traditional classroom, my parents. I'm so lucky to be born in the family that I have. Without you guys, I never would have been pushed to try so many things. Number 2, from my classmates. You taught me to place faith in people our age, that we are old enough to trust ourselves. For just one example, we had a chemistry club meeting on the same day as the senior versus staff basketball game. Dr. Allen was playing basketball, so the club supervision was left in the hands of myself, Sierra, and a sophomore, Nicole. It taught me to have a lot of trust in my classmates and myself, and it also esteemed my opinion of all the students here. To know that we could organize and hold 2 different important events at once, despite being such a small school. As seniors, we have done a lot. For some of us, it was school clubs and organizations. Some of us work, some of us play sports, and some of us do a combination of 2 or 3. Number 3, again, from my teachers. You taught me to understand my purpose, and to make my point without backing down. This one's for my English teachers, Mrs. Schneider, Mr. Morningstar, and Ms. Isotalo, sorry. You taught me to write effectively and to speak up for what I believe in, and that I have a responsibility to do what I can for the sake of my people. And my Spanish teacher, Señorita Baker. You taught me to swallow my nerves, to go ahead and speak up and present without fear, even if I'm presenting in a foreign language. Number 4, from my classmates. The final but the most important thing I've learned while I was here. Don't be afraid to make light of things. I'll always remember the loud, constant, and contagious laughter of certain people in my concentration. Then those of you falling on stage during convocation. This year has been difficult for a lot of us, what with senioritis, of course, and then personal struggles. For me, it was hard to watch my best friend suffer a head injury and to accept that she wouldn't be here graduating with us. There were days when I had to drag myself to school, convinced I'd find no joy in that day, because my close friends had all either graduated, moved away, or left for another reason. But then someone would make a dumb joke in English language, and I'd get a few minutes to laugh, to share a good time with the people who were still around me. That meant a lot to me, more than I can ever tell you. It's crazy to think that this is where my connection with a lot of you will end. Some of you have me on social media, and I'll keep in touch. Some of you are going to Central Michigan, and I'll see you there. But for so many of you, I won't know what you'll be doing after today, and for the rest of your life. But if I could tell you one thing, don't sell yourself short or give up on your ambitions. We all have something we love, something we want, and something we strive towards. Even if your first reaction is to laugh it off and say there's nothing like that for you, there is. I want you to reach for it, no matter how long it takes or what path it takes you to get there. Even if things get messed up the first time, there are always second chances. There's an author named Abdurrahim Rashida who wrote a book titled A 75-Year-Old Schoolboy Still Finds Joy Sitting in the Classroom. It's all about his experiences and struggles and how he worked tirelessly all his life to achieve what was most important to him, an education. I can't read the whole book to you, but here's a little snippet from the back. Having dropped out of school at an early age, Abdur's thirst for knowledge prompted him to go back to school in his late 40s and receive his high school diploma at the age of 50. The endeavor prompted him to write this, his first book, in hopes of encouraging others to never give up on their dreams. If you need any more motivation, go read this book. Seriously, go read this book. It's great. That's it. I wouldn't be who I am without you guys. None of us would be who we are without each other's influence. Thank you for everything, and thank you for listening. Congratulations, fellow graduates. At this time, please move your tassel to the left.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I hope we can all find guidance and can appreciate the value of your words in our futures. We ask that our audience and platform guests please remain seated for the recessional. We invite you join us for some delicious refreshments in the gymnasium immediately afterwards. Thank you for joining us this evening. And on behalf of the students, we are so appreciative of all of tonight's guests and parents for their continued guidance, love, and support, without which none of us could be on this stage today. Thank you.